One win for Leicester City since August the 29th is sacking territory, says Leicester fan Alb. Who do you blame now? Is this a board problem or is this just poor choice in manager? Our Leicester fans here are back on where Foxes want to give their view on the latest loss to Millwall. Elm says, if I ever see Luke Thomas and the team on Saturday, I am done. 20 minutes of Leicester City chat coming up then. Who's to blame, the board or the manager? We're looking for the October Player of the Month if we can find one. Plus, it's Halloween coming up this week, so we're asking, what is the worst ever horror show you've sat through as a Leicester City fan? What is your nightmare result? Plus, the A to Z of Leicester City continues. We've been doing this for 3 weeks now. We're up to the letter D, and of course, Paul Dickoff is what AI suggested. Can Jim, Freddie, or yourself come up with better? Hope you're all doing well. The Leicester fan base, Jim, is it's not even split anymore. It really is getting quite toxic out there. Where do you stand on the debate at the moment? Is this a board issue, or is this a player issue, or is this a manager issue?
It's a mixture of, I would say all three, to be fair. The manager's tactics aren't working for this team. They just don't seem to be able to have the attacking threat needed to win games. And the board just don't seem to care enough to take action. Now, I'm not Marty out. I like Cifuentes. Look and realise that the tactics he's using are not working. And he needs to act quickly. If he doesn't, it shows that he's unwilling to change. And that, for me, will sway me towards he needs to go.
Yeah. Freddie, are you Marty out yet?
I don't think yet. I think he needs a bit more time because he hasn't had the backing or the squad to do what we want him to do. But I do think it's getting to a point where if he doesn't start to change things soon and give new players a go and keep picking the same people, it'll get to a point at some moment in time that I just won't be able to back him anymore as a manager.
Yeah, I mean, how long do you give him? Till Christmas, Freddie, or give him till the January window? What are you thinking?
I'll give him Christmas for now, but it could change depending on what he decides to do in terms of team selection and just the way he conducts himself and things like that. Like, if he keeps picking Luke Thomas every week, then I can't back him as our manager. He can't do that.
Lots of similar tweets about Luke Thomas this week, poor lad. Ross says, though, it's not Marty's fault. Our players are just so bad, but his tactics clearly don't work with the dross that we have in the pitch. So it's a tactical change and the introduction of youth players like Evans and Aluku, or it should be bye-bye Marty. Yeah, is that what you want to see, Jim, now? A rotation of the squad to get these young, hungry players in?
Oh, definitely. I said from the start of the season, but Cifuentes is one that likes to use youth. We've got good youth players in Evans, Aluko, Braybrook is out on loan at the minute, Nelson, Page, Alves is obviously injured at the minute. So you've got a good crop of players there. And let's be honest, they can't do worse than what the players are at the minute that are playing. Like Vestergaard, Fard, Thomas, Daka, Ayew, Samare, Skip. There are players there that are awful. So playing the youth is a no-brainer for me because I say they can't do any worse.
That first half at Hull, Freddie, and arguably the whole game at Millwall just showed a real lack of guile from Leicester. Some of the players don't seem to be interested. Is that what you're picking up?
Yeah, it just seems a minute a bit like they don't really want to be here. Which, I mean, given how everything's going off the pitch with the board and Whelan going, obviously, Rudkin and Top doing what they do, it's understandable, but at the same time, while you're at the club, you have to try. because they're paying you to be there. So seeing that lack of effort is incredibly frustrating, and also just not fair on the fans who have paid money to go and watch them play football.
Yeah. So look at some more tweets, shall we? Bear says, terrible. Sack the board. Our club has been plummeting since 2021, and there's no way we can recover a Premier League position with this current ownership. Do you agree with that, Jim? Do you think with Rudkin and the current setup that you've got that there is no way this team sees promotion?
I wouldn't say promotion is off the table, but the way the club's been run for the past 4, 5, 6 years, with Rudkin signing players for fees that are ludicrous, like 25 million for Skip, it just doesn't bode well if he stays in the driving seat, so to speak. So I don't want the club to be sold, because obviously everything they've done for us. But ever since Hitchhide passed away, his son just doesn't seem to be as invested or care enough as his dad did. So if selling it helps us get back up the ladder, then I'm all for it. I'm not saying I want it to happen, but if it's selling it and getting better, or keeping them and settling for mediocrity, then selling's the only option.
Yeah, a few others echoed that. Michael said, we're outfought, outworked and outmuscled. Too many players who aren't doing all they can. Too many passengers. But Freddie, this is squarely on top. And Rudkin selling all those players without placing them and keeping half of these wastes of space is an absolute joke. Do you subscribe to that philosophy yourself?
Yeah, I think obviously running a football club isn't as easy as people think it is. Obviously, there'll be a lot going on that we don't know about, we can't know about, because we're not involved in that way. Like decisions that perhaps Top could be making, but he could be poorly advised or told to do the wrong thing. But at the end of the day, being the chairman, you have the final say. So you have to look at it from that point of view and think, well, he will be the person that has the final say on these decisions. So while it could partly be down to him being poorly advised, a lot of it lies with him in the fact that he's the one that sanctions these decisions and appoints the people to make these decisions for him.
Yeah. Do you want him out?
I think it depends. Like Jim said, if it meant that we got back to the Premier League and became stable again, then I wouldn't mind it. But equally, I don't want to hound it out because of everything they've done. I think it depends on what would be best for the club, and if we could find a suitable buyer that would do the right things at the right times for the club. I think it just depends on what would be best for the club, to be honest.
Okay. All right. Let's leave the football bit aside then for a second. Just one final bit on this one. Out of context, LCFC says Marty is to blame. However, he isn't the main reason. The main reason is Rudkin, the clown, and Top. I mean, how can you hardly spend in the Premier League and even this season not spend a single pound on a player? It's a joke. Could even have spent 3 million on Richard Kone. And I suppose that's the frustration. That's why anger's growing, Jim, isn't it? That you see other teams, like look at Millwall, who have spent a little bit. Norwich have spent a bit. No, it's not going very well. But your squad is one of the most expensively assembled in the league, but your expenditure hasn't matched even some of the teams you're playing against now, and that's what's driving people's anger, isn't it?
It is, but obviously we don't know what the financial situation is like. We want the team to spend money. We want players brought in. But when you've got players on 100 grand a week that are absolutely useless, the money's dried up, and there's nothing you can do about it. We can sit here and moan, demand, and everything else, but at the end of the day, the club has got no money. So we have to just deal with what we've got. The team itself isn't that bad. You've got good players there, apart from lacking a striker and maybe one decent defender. Because Leicester is good with the ball at his feet. Yeah, it's not quick. Don't get me wrong. But the club itself is about 80% there. It's just this whole low passing tactical thing is what's causing the downfall. And unfortunately, we have got no money to invest in it. So that's why, for me, you have to use the youth.
Okay. Right. In the comments then, we're looking for the October Player of the Month. I know October's not been the best of months for Leicester. This might be a struggle. But Freddie, is the one player that stood out for you above others that should get this accolade?
I think for me, the only real option is probably Jordan James. Every time he's played, he's been dangerous. He's tried. Millwall yesterday, he was one of the only people that stayed out to properly clap the fans, despite like how toxic it was. Which again, you know, it just shows he's a proper footballer. He cares about being here, which is a lot more than you can say for a lot of them. So I think purely based on that, he's the one that wins it for me.
Well, Jim?
I'd probably say Jordan James as well, because we haven't scored a goal in 4 games. So, and we're conceding left, right, and centre. So, for me, it has to be James. He's the only one really apart from that who scored the goals. And like Freddie said, shows that he cares.
Okay. The next fixture is against Blackburn at home. They've been struggling themselves, so this is the sort of game, Freddie, isn't it? Where you look at the table, you're at home, and think this has to be a win. This has got to be 3 points.
Yeah, I think obviously Blackburn's never an easy game. Even when they're not doing well, they are a good side. Their togetherness is probably up there with the best in the league. So I think the main thing for us when we play them will be can we take any of our chances, because that's what's been killing us. That's why we've not been winning games, because we haven't taken the chances we've made. And you know, if we put a couple of those away every game, all of a sudden we're winning 2-1, 3-1, and then you're up in fourth or whatever. So it's just about can we take those chances when we make them.
Well, it's Halloween this week, Jim. So we're asking all our panels which one result sticks in your mind as the worst nightmare result. As a Leicester fan, is the one that you can remember being a complete horror show?
The one that's always stuck in my mind, ever since I was a kid, was when we played Wolves in the Premier League, I believe it was, and we were 3-0 up at half time and lost 4-3. That game for me is always, whenever I talk about a horror show and a bad performance, that game is always in my head. So I would probably choose that one. They're probably worse than that, but for me personally, I'd probably say that one.
Okay. Brilliant. Freddie, beat that one?
I mean, I've been around for that long, so for me, it's probably when we played West Ham the first season we went down. I know we won the game, but we went down, blue on blue, fights on the home end. People split, clapping, booing, like we knew we were going down, so the atmosphere was flat. So it was just all round a bit of a horrible game, that one was.
Let us know in the comments what you think. And finally, this week then, we're continuing on A to Z of Leicester City. AI suggests Paul Dickoff should be in there. Can you beat that? Any of you got a good idea for this?
Not really, to be honest. I think the one for me, the only one I can really think of would be Richie Delap, but other than that, I'm not really sure.
Not perhaps Daka then, no. Jim?
Like Freddie said, Ricky Dillap, obviously Premier League winners trophy medal, instrumental in that season. Remember his goal again? Was it? Oh, he wasn't in charge of it at the time. Sherwood. We were 2-0 down and won 3-2 because he got the first goal from the flick from the corner. I can't remember who we were playing now. But yeah, he was instrumental that season. And I know Dickov played for us twice, two separate occasions. So it's either Dickov or Dillap.
Okay. Let us know in the comments which one you would go for. Right, you two, good luck against Blackburn on Saturday then. We'll be hoping that we get 3 points to put some smiles back on Leicester City fans' faces. We've also got points deductions potentially coming as well, which we need to maybe find out a little bit more about this week. Thank you very much, Jim. Thank you, Freddie. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to drop us a quick like and subscribe before you head off. We'll see you in 7 days' time. Thanks for watching.